All right, guys. Thank you for joining me yet again. Yeah, the whole liberal nonsense, guys, it's out of control. Getting any truth notifications, very good. All right, all right, all right. Let's see if we can pull this thing up real quick. All right. So, guys, thank you for the 5x5. Dan Phillips, thank you for the 5x5. Flown Grown, Adam, Ephraim, Glock, Joe, Prep to Adapt, Lisa, Groundhog, Chanel, WTC, Spotted Fawn, Laura, Dobie, Kathy, Sway. Thank you for 5x5. Crypto, Eric, D. Let's Go, Visit, Dan, Water Tiger, NJ Prepper. Thank you for the 5x5. NJ Prepper, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Thank you for joining us again. Dana, Comet Moon, thank you for the 5x5. Sean, Rose, Mr. Landfill, Daryl, Colleen, thank you for the 5x5. Teddy, thank you for the 8 shared by spam. 1 second after, Whiskey Prepper, thank you for the 5x5. Cynthia, what's going on? Thank you, everybody else. And Red Cardinal, if you're talking to me, I'm doing fine. Debbie, thank you for the 5x5. All right. So, first story, guys. Remember to get your blood work. I am doing it tomorrow, Firefly. I'm doing it tomorrow. Saturday. Double Q, Islamic. Thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it. And Renee Ozark, thank you for the 5x5. So a lot of people seem to think that something's going to go down with Trump, right? And again, I don't see it happening because that would cause chaos, instant chaos. I mean, first of all, there would be a lot of happy people. But then on the other side of that coin, you're going to have a lot of people pissed off. And it's just not in their better interest to pull that off, at least not now. But please tell me you have a call in. What the hell is that? What's a call in? I don't know what that is. But so first story. So real quick, the no sex movement seems to be not taking off as well as one would have thought. There are women who have shaved their heads. There are women like you guys saw in the other thumbnail holding the no sex to 2028, but it's not enough. A lot of women are not buying it. In fact, there are a lot of women there are a lot of cancer patients who are offended by this move as well. So the move is not taking off as well. The no sex part is not taking off either. I mean, again, the women who are talking about no sex are the fat fucks of the world who fucking never get laid, never had a boyfriend, and today they're going to make their stand and go, I'm not having sex, because no one's going to have sex with you. That is why you have no sex. Because nobody wants to touch you. Touching you is like touching a pile of grease. Nobody wants that on their hand. They don't want to get lost in your rolls and come out with fucking cakes, Oreo cookies, and Twinkies. Right? Nobody wants to fall into that shit. So these women who complain about, I'm not going to have sex because, and then they pass out from fucking narcolepsy from being so fat. These are the women who are fucking sitting there screaming and crying about shit. But again, not the point. Point is that these women are inherently complaining about Trump and not winning and shaving their heads and no sex and I'm not going to have a baby and all this other crazy shit. Good for you, you fucking tub of lard. You weren't going to have a baby anyway. You're probably going to have a fucking Twinkie with legs coming out of you because fat, right? So, I mean, when fat and fat meshes together, fucking food comes out of a woman's vagina. Fat woman's vagina, excuse me. So anyway, when women complain about this shit, the more annoying part about this whole thing, guys, is that women here in the United States, all women, are privileged. Little kids here are very privileged. Yes, there are some women that get taken advantage of and sexually assaulted. Yes, the whole 9 yards, kids too. But for the most part, everybody's privileged here. In Iran, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Iran or Iraq. They're opening up a mental health facility for women who do not wear hijabs. Is it hijabs? Oh God, coverings on their head. Excuse me, hijabs. Excuse me. They're a mental health facility. So they're saying women over there are crazy for not covering their hairs, and they're going to put them in a mental health facility. You have Iran that just lowered the age of consent to 9 years old. 9. I do not know what it was. I'm pretty sure it was low to begin with, and it's even lower now. These are people, guys, that the world wants you to feel bad for. These are the same group of people that everybody is mad about with Israel. Hijabs. Yeah, okay, I said it right the second time. But anyway, these are the same people that they want you to feel sorry for. But these people are lowering the age of consent to 9 years old. Are you fucking kidding me? And that's okay? But meanwhile, women here are complaining about a president they don't like, so they're acting like morons, for a better lack of a term, because they want to and be so mad and fucking stomp their feet. And because they can't stomp their feet fucking stompy enough, because again, fat, so they said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shave my head. So what? You could look like a fucking bald-headed butterball turkey? Like, I don't understand. People are just... And you know who's not doing this? The trans women. The men pretending to be women. They're not partaking in this shit. They're not sitting there shaving their heads because they know better. Because they know how stupid this sounds. The world is a rotten place. You got people who are protecting the PDOs of the world. They are undoubtedly, guys, being protected. You cannot tell me for a second that these kids that are out there in the world being trafficked can't be found. I think that can't be found excuse was so that no one looks for them. I think it's an excuse. It is 2024. Right now, if I did something like, I don't know, punch a cop in the face and ran off, they would find me. If I ran off to Oshkosh, Wagosh, fucking, New Mexico, they would find me. Meanwhile, you mean to tell me you can't find any of these kids? You got facial recognition technology all over the place. Subways, trains, planes, you name it. And they can't find any of these kids? It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Anyway, with this, guys, women here acting poorly because Donald Trump won. Well, there was a woman who offed her father because Trump won the election. I guess they found his body a couple days ago, but the girl was hiding his body in the basement. And he was an old, frail man. But, yeah, I don't know about that one, Nora Technologies. But anyway, the article, wife of prominent trans writer hacked father to death with an ice axe after Trump election night victory. A space rocket program manager butchered her father with an ice axe on election night after a breakdown following President-elect Donald Trump's victory, and was found smiling and clapping, covered in her loved one's blood. This one's going to be demonetized. They demonetized my last video. I might as well fucking let them demonetize this one too. Corey Burke considered the bloody rampage in which she allegedly strangled, bit, and tomahawk chopped her 67-year-old father in an $800,000 Seattle home they shared, an act of liberation. Charging document alleged. This is what she said, an act of liberation. Because Trump won. And she took it out on her father. Yeah, local is like an understatement at this point. Burke, 33, is training program manager at Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' spacecraft company, according to her LinkedIn profile, and is married to a prominent transgender writer, Samantha Lee. Samantha Lee is a guy, but pretending to be a chick. Samantha Lee Allen, excuse me. Allen is the author of the acclaimed book Real Queer America, an LGBT story from red states, and the editor of Them, a Condé Nast transgender news, article, whatever. The offing was meant to help people change their attachment to their parents, and it had to happen today. Burke said, "This is the lady that tomahawk chopped her father." She says the offing was meant to help people change their attachments to their parents, and had to happen today. Her face covered in her father's blood. That's what the court document reads. Burke has been upset about the election and knew Trump would handily beat Vice President Kamala Harris when she allegedly snapped. Apparently, when her father, Timothy Burke, that's one of the guys I work with's name actually, but he's not 67 years old, refused to turn off the lights, I guess so she could cry in the dark. She then went upstairs, grabbed an ice. I think she's an ice climber. That's what the ice axe is. Because they said ice pickaxe. It's actually, it's an ice pickaxe. It's what you use to ice climb. Tripped her father, choked him, bit him on the floor, and struck him repeatedly with the blunt side and then the sharp end of the tool. Burke sat down next to her father, watched him pass away, then smashed all of the windows in the house with what she described as an act of liberation. When the cops arrived, they found Burke clapping because she was so happy. I'm reading this article for the first time with you guys, so guys, something is wrong. This isn't normal. Where the fuck was I? Burke has worked at Blue Origin for about 5 years, according to her LinkedIn page, and lived with her father in a house in South Seattle. Burke told police that she had a strained relationship with her father without strong boundaries that had left her feeling hyper-focused and disorganized. So then move out. This is what doesn't make any sense. Is that if the relationship was that strained, why didn't she just leave? Wandering Polly. That's what it has to be. It has to be that. Laura Larson, not MK Ultra. They wouldn't use that on an idiot like this. Though she is probably in that world, I doubt it very much. I'm going to go with the ding 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 arm ticket. Or psychotropic drugs. A one shot, one kill. You could be right. Anyway. Let's see. Trump's election victory overwhelmed her and finally pushed this tension to the breaking point. When officers arrived, she came to the house with her hands up, blood smeared on her face, but she said she didn't have any idea where that came from or who had smashed the windows. Maybe you're right about the MK Ultra, Laura. Maybe. She later described the dispute with her father over the lights, eventually whispering, "I'd kill him. I'd off him," to one of the officers. Charging document said. Burke has been charged with first-degree murder and is held on a $2 million bail. Now, to add more to the story, another idiot online, I think it was TikTok, but I saw the video on Twitter. This lady goes on to say that she would off a man and her unborn child if she ended up pregnant. She states, "I will off you in your sleep and get an abortion, and then 2 people will be dead." This is a black lady that said this, I think, sitting in her car. with, again, the camera too close to her face. Why is everybody doing this close camera shit? I'm like, I do my shorts, my camera's out to here. And I'm holding something away from my face. People are like, yo, I'm going to get you. And like, why is it, what are you, tongue kissing the camera? Get the camera away from your face. I don't want to see your fat fucking pores and you sweat and grease all over your fucking... Not the point. The point is, guys, that these people are losing their shit. Big time. This story is out of Connecticut. Connecticut teacher resigns after threatening Trump supporters in a Snapchat video. If you want to fight, come get me. All right, so she didn't say that. She said, if you want to fight, text me. And she said this to the parents who voted for Trump. In a now viral video, Chapman School special education teacher Annie Dunleavy threatened to fight and hurt people who came to her to tell us they voted for Trump. Why would they do that? I mean, I would do that to antagonize a teacher. Absolutely. I'm running around now telling people I voted for Trump. Just wear a shirt that says it's MAGA Nation now. I can't wait to get that shirt made. I'm going to be so fucking happy to piss so many people off. I live for this shit sometimes because as immature as that sounds, because it is, I can be immature. Absolutely. But this kind of shit that's going on, teachers texting, if you want to fight, text me. And you should see the lady. The lady's like in no fighting shape. I thought it was a dude at first, and I'm like, that sounds like something a guy would say. Then you see the video of the chick. She's on Fox 8 News in Connecticut. And I'm like, it's just a fucking lady. Like a normal school teacher lady. So if you want to... Yo, the world is upside down. Shit is fucking out of control, man. It's out of control. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, yo, people... Again, the left just shows you how vulnerable they are and how emotional they are by letting emotions ruin everything for them. Like, everything. I mean, yo, this teacher's like, yo, you want to come and get it? Fight me? No. So, of course, guys, people are threatening to leave America, as per usual. There is a video on Instagram, and the people were filming themselves leave America and move to Canada. It is not going to work out for them. One shot, one kill. She was fired. She was let go, and she was asking back for her job on the news clipping. The New York, the Fox 8 News, or whatever it was. So this is another teacher. I'm not sure where it's out of, but I want to say Cheerios, but it's not. Cerritos High School teacher stormed out of a classroom after seeing a student wear a MAGA shirt, later sending an email blasting the attire as intimidating and a symbol of hate. In the message, she criticizes the school's policy allowing political clothes for students but not teachers, calling Trump a fascist. The teacher, identified as a Latina mother of an LGBT child, says the shirt represents deep hatred towards minorities, women, and the LGBTQ. I never heard Trump say anything bad about the LGBTQ community. But these people, that's what they're gonna run with it. The school district is investigating the incident, and the teacher is reportedly taking a mental health leave. Mental health leave. I need a mental health leave from this fucking world and the bullshit that it's pulling. The nonsense and the psychopaths, they're everywhere. You can't escape it. FDA employees are threatening to leave or are threatening to mass quit in protest against Trump picking RFK. Parents went off on a California public school teacher who had a meltdown in the classroom after Trump won. They said he made the most racist comments and shouted and should be fired. Parents are offended, put the school board on notice, and more. Whatever. So I saw the videos. There's a bunch of videos in regard to this teacher making that comment. And one of the comments, guys, that are floating around on the internet is that Spanish people who picked Trump or voted for Trump are Spanish people trying to be white. That's what one of the mothers said. And then there was a couple other videos, I didn't listen to them, but they were all standing in front of a committee, school committee, and they were talking about how the teacher said that, like Sonny, what's her name, saying on The View, saying that Latino men are misogynistic because they voted for Trump. So now only do they want to be white, now we're misogynistic. And we, being I am half Puerto Rican. So, again, listen, the Sonny Liston chick, man, I can't wait till she just like, the fame is gone, and she's sitting in her fucking house all alone. Because there's no way that bitch is married. She can't be. I hope she's not. Really doesn't. I mean, if she is, it's sad. And there's also rumors going around on the internet stating women who voted for Trump in the South might get beat up. Now, when I heard that rumor, and again, it's a rumor, I thought to myself, there are a lot of Southern women, and I know a couple of them, they're strapped. So if you're going to jump these women because they voted for Trump, you better not bring a fucking knife to a gunfight. That's all I'm going to say. Or in their case, a baseball bat to the gunfight. Because it ain't going to work out too well. Now, I found this situation that I think is going to explode in the next couple of days, if not maybe the next couple of weeks. Guys, if you do not mind, please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Scott Hummer, thank you for the reminder. Appreciate it. If you do not mind, guys, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. It's all the same. It helps out a little. It helps out with the algorithm, the whole 9 yards. You got to know the song and dance. But the FEMA situation, guys, is a lot worse than FEMA was leading on. And it's funny, when FEMA had that problem, my eyebrow was raised right away, and I was like, yo, there's something not right with this. They're going to let one chick take the blame for this? And of course they did. Right? They had one chick take the blame. And for what? Excuse me, I'm trying to... And so, with that, the fired FEMA supervisor who told subordinates to skip hurricane-ravaged homes with Trump signs did a sit-down interview on Fox News and said that the staff had the right not to go to homes with Trump signs if they were uncomfortable. Similar to that of going to a home with an aggressive dog on a property. You can't even make this shit up. If you tried to make this up, if you would have told me a story like this 5 years ago, I'd be like, there's no way that's a real story. Supposedly it is. Marne Washington, I thought it was Martha Washington this whole time, but Marne Washington says this is FEMA's policies and that it applied it in other states beyond Florida affected by hurricanes. She said that she's being made the scapegoat because she wrote the directive, which was later leaked by the Daily Wire. Now, this situation is going to explode and blow up because it's only going to get worse from here. Because there is an investigation being launched as we speak, and heads are going to roll. Now, one part of me can't wait for these heads to roll because that part of me is like, good. That should have never happened under any circumstances. To sit there and compare a home with a Trump sign to that of a wild dog being on a property is fucking bizarre to me. That is the most bizarre shit. And so somebody feels uncomfortable. And as the lady, because I listened to the interview, as she put it, as she stated, if I felt okay about it, but if I was all right about it, right, but Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival wasn't okay with it, that we can't go in. We both have to be comfortable with going in. And to me, that's also like a lazy tactic. Because, like, people use that excuse to be lazy. Oh, it had a Trump sign on it. I didn't want to go in. Meanwhile, they didn't really care about the Trump sign. They're just being lazy, right? And people always use certain things to their advantage, and people will undoubtedly use that to their advantage. And, of course, here we are, right? of course, here the fuck we are with this situation getting worse. And I listen, and I hope it does. Now, nobody died from it, so that's a good thing. Nobody was really hurt from these actions. But imagine if the situation was really bad. Then what if they have done? Oh, wait, there's a Trump sign laying on that lawn. It might not be theirs, it might be theirs, but because it's laying on their lawn and they didn't pick it up, we're going to clump them in with Trump. That doesn't make any sense. Right, Kenneth, what's next? The American flag? Oh, yeah, Mike, I was watching your live stream last night. We're All Gonna Die Wednesday. What camera were you using? That shit was sharp as hell. I was like, man, that's a sharp-ass camera. Been meaning to text you that, but I have you on here, so I might as well ask you here. But yeah, man. So this is where we are. We're fucking here, right? We're looking at nonsense. People are acting like bewildered animals over this whole nonsense. I mean, the FEMA shit. Imagine not helping somebody out because of their political view. Somebody who's in trouble and needs help, and you're looking at it and going, nah, there's a Trump sign on there. Imagine that. The DJI Pocket 3. No shit. No kidding. All right. I mean, like, that should have never happened, man. That was just the wildest thing I've ever heard. And not the wildest thing I've ever heard. It was just, I just can't believe that you would want to skip over somebody's lawn because you guys have two political... Like, you're supposed to be there's no politics involved in helping people, like, at all. That's the crazy shit. Like, and they put politics into this. Now, on the administrative end, politics always plays a role, but not to that level. Not to where you're like, oh, that's a Trump. Look, that dog has Trump shaved into the side of it. We're not going to help that house. Right? I mean, imagine. Like someone just said, the American flag is hanging up. Too patriotic. Like, what is it going to be and where is it going to end? That's just bad news, man, all the way around. That was allowed to happen. Now, obviously, Trump being president, is it going to happen anymore? No. But it's still a fucking bad sign. It's a bad sign, guys, that people are acting like savages because Trump won. This is insanity. Insanity. I don't understand it. That's like me rolling up to a car, somebody's sitting in a car bleeding out, and I'm like, oh, is that a Harris Waltz shirt you got on? No, thank you. And then walking away from them. Crawling through a fire, because I'm in, liberal hell. Crawling through a fire, and I'm like, is that a Kamala Harris button you have on there? Yeah? No, I'm going to leave you in here and crawl out of it. Let them burn, the kind of shit. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, it doesn't, if you don't correct the problem, it's only going to get worse. And this lady, though she got hung out to dry, fuck her anyway, because she knew better. So the crazy shit is that the lady who the whistleblower, if you will, that got caught being made the scapegoat, she has the audacity to sit there and play the woe is me. You knew better. Just because they said it didn't mean you have to agree with it, but you did. So you're part of the problem too. And a lot of people like to sit there and say they're not part of the problem. Like, oh, well, I'm just following orders. That's not an order you're supposed to follow. Like, on nobody's planet and nobody's universe and nobody's dimension are you ever supposed to follow some bullshit like that. But these people don't know how to take accountability because, it's the government. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go off the air now. I got to get up early, got to get my start early tomorrow to go get my blood taken and all this other bullshit that I don't want to do tomorrow. Nonetheless, I got to do it. But I will see you guys next week, next Tuesday probably, for a double header. I think Wednesday night I might do another Angry Film Critic live stream. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting the channel. And have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys later. And Water Tiger, I agree with you. The left are incapable of taking accountability. You are right.